back. This is going to be an update on the apple press. Sorry I have not filmed the last few things I've done, but I'll just kind of summarize what I've got going on. What I'm working on now, or just finished up, is the press plate, which you see right here. So I used some finger jointed maple that's 1.5 inches countertop material we had left over from our last kitchen remodel. I had a few pieces here you can see that I cut out and stacked these on here. I was able to reuse the original hardware. It cleaned up pretty good. This cast socket and the bolts. So I'll bring the camera in and kind of show you up close. So here you can see up close the press plate and the socket, which is kind of cool, the cast piece. So it's got a 105 in it. I reused the original carriage bolts and the set screw here. You can see those on the bottom. And when I was laying this out, my concern was that there's a lot of pressure on this, and so I noticed that a lot of these apple presses that they put a square piece on top, and we have the joints on this on the lower section running this way, and I flipped this to kind of give that some support. So as this is pushing down, that the square piece is helping to support those joints. Not that they'll come apart because they're all glued and finger jointed, and I think it's going to be really tough, and it looks good. I like the cleanness of the two pieces rather than the stacked plywood or individual pieces that I've seen a lot of different presses use. And how this works, if you don't know, is you put the mash in here, the mashed up apples, and then the press will press these down, and the juice will be pushed out the gaps. So, and then that's that. Well, the other thing that I'm working on is the tray that the barrels sit in, and I'll show you where I'm at with that. So the tray is where the barrels sit and where all the apple juice is collected, and it sits at kind of a cant, and then there'll be a hole drilled on the end where the juice will run out. As you can see, the previous tray is not in very good condition. Not at all. And I see that someone has added a fiberglass, you can see a fiberglass insert. There's the hole in the end for the juice to escape. I don't care for that. I don't want any of that fiberglass. I don't think that originally, I doubt that was originally part of the press. Someone has probably added that later as the wood weathered and wouldn't seal anymore. So what I've used is just the same material that I used for the barrels, this oak flooring. And it's, I ripped it down, biscuit jointed it, and then put these two supports on the bottom and screwed these in, and everything's glued and everything, it's setting up right now. So this will be the new table, and then of course we'll be putting the edges on. That will be something that I'll do when the glue sets up, so maybe tonight or maybe tomorrow. So if there's any of you woodworkers out there that can advise me as to what would be the best finish for this, it would have to be something that's food grade, that's safe for food to come in contact with. I don't know if a person can use a sort of beeswax or what would be the best process. I haven't really done any investigating in that, so I know that there are some pretty talented woodworkers, i.e. USN Doc. He's done some nice woodworking projects, and Doc, maybe you have some suggestions on that. But let me know. I haven't done any research and I'm not sure where to go. Maybe it would be okay just to let the apples juice stain it. Yeah, I'm not sure. So yeah, let me know on that. But that's all I have to offer. The frame, this will be pretty much, this will be done the next couple days, all of these peripherals, and then I'll get started on the frame itself. And actually I've been looking at the top section. Actually, I'll bring it over here and I'll show you the top section. Before I show you the top section, I'll show you the kind of the inner workings. I've got the top came off really nicely. I didn't realize it, but it just had a couple of these turn screws, and the whole thing is made to lift off. I think it's done that way so it's easier to transport. It's not so heavy. But you can see as the crank turns, there's a really heavy flywheel right there, and it gets going. And this is I guess the little pulverizer that's going to chew up all the apples. Fortunately, the wood on that looks really good. I don't think anything is going to need replacing, just cleaned up and painted. I see that the handle here on the screw, the weld is broken loose, so I'll grind that off and re-weld that before I paint it. But this whole frame will need to be replaced, and I'm just trying to determine, it's an unusual size, And I don't want to custom order any material because it's so expensive. I only try to use something that I can get readily. So I'm going to go to the lumberyard and see what I can find. And I might have to get some 4x6s and to cut those down. I'd like to use some of the timber that I've cut, but it's not dry enough, and I'm afraid it's just going to really go to pieces and crack and twist, and I don't want that. So I'm working on that right now. But I wanted to show you the upper, and I think that the upper can be restored, and I don't have to immediately rebuild it. So here's the upper section, and I really hate to do this all over because I like the writing. It's got the original name on it. The wood is it's got a few cracks in it, but I think it can be glued if I carefully take it apart, take the hardware off, repaint the hardware, and glue this and just clean it up. See this section right here, it has split, but I think I can glue that. It might work. There may not be any reason to redo it all, and I'm going to try to leave it alone and just restore kind of what we have here. You can see that will need to be glued, but that's not a big deal. Maybe replace a couple of these lower pieces. But overall, once I dug into it, it's actually pretty good. So that's where we're at. So I appreciate you watching, and stay tuned. I'll be having some more videos coming up real soon. In reference to the greenhouse, I haven't finished the greenhouse yet. I'm trying to do that on Sundays. So this Sunday, most likely, I'll do a video on it, and we should be finishing it up, or if not, pretty close. So thanks again. We'll see you next time.